Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boys than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boys than a Shawshank. I don't wear ball mains. All I ever do is ball main. I am not a rapper, they all lame. I am not dope, I'm hard. Wait, I can power up and level up at any moment. Spitting like a semi, only give me semicolon. Couple zeros like I'm sending yell nets. Every flow is unmatched and I better get set in. Finish them. Mess around with me and I diminish them all. Even if I ever did the minimum all. In the end result, I'm better killing them all. Rogue One, but I got a team with me. Batman when I got a thing with me. I get mean, I get green. Show the whole game what's never been seen. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank.
Designer sneakers hurt my feet now. Every beat is getting beat down. Couldn't eat, well watch I eat now. Like how you getting paid to freestyle? Different cities every week now. Every woman is a now.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Here we go. H and Gator. Hey, it's coming up. Hey, let's go. Let's go. All day, baby. 51 the mic, boy. 51.
A first down throw coming for Vick. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll run on first down. McFarland, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And a give this time to the tailback. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third down, McFarland. And some room to maneuver. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
25, check 25, check 26.
On first down, McFarland. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Got it. 51, 951. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. 6. Come on out here. Come get some. He don't want it. Hayward. Hang on.
Working out of the gun, Michael Vick. Being chased out left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question, because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Daniels. Open man, Smith-Schuster. It's complete. 25 yards that time.
Got it. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. You got it.
On 1st and 10, Daniels. He's going to launch it for Washington. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
5-7. 53, check 53. Ready?
Throwing again. Daniels. Complete. It's Johnson. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
Throwing on 1st down. Daniels. Safarian Jenkins has it. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian-Jenkins. But it'll be second down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20. To throw again, Daniels. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third.
Here we go. Here we go.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. He's going to take a shot for the ends. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0.
14. Ravens, nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4.
Let's go one more. Kill. Turn it up. Kill.
They'll try the left side. McFarland. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 44 yards on the ground. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
3rd and long for Vick. And hauled in by the tight end Miller. And boy, he did all he could, but he's going to finally be stopped a couple yards short of the first. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. So on fourth down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on this.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now
that's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 59 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it. And he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, let's get this,
Vic to throw it. And his throw here is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice. or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
I'm coming to you. I'm coming after you. Go, Mike 51, Mike 51. Hey, it's coming up. Hey, let's go.
Throwing again. Vic. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call.
Bang, 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 bang. Truck.
From the shotgun, it's Vic. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at about the 14. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 51 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Come on, set. 10 Lobo. Mike, let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
their own 33-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
They'll try the left side. McFarland, and he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
A loss of 1 makes it 3rd and 14.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
951. We ain't giving up nothing today. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. Hey, here we go. Watch it.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Vick, and the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Back to throw. Daniels, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They just get the play off. Now Vick. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Going deep to the end zone for Juju. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster as the first half is winding down as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And some room to roam now. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. From one end zone to the other, 101 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
To throw, Vic. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case,
it's caught at the 10. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 58 yards. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration and haul it in.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And he's brought down. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, first and goal. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster taking it in as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
At the 39-yard line.
On second down now, McFarland. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Hey, let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
On 3rd down, Vick. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Daniels going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Jim. Curve on. Slam, slam, slam. Check three. Let it go.
On 3rd down, McFarland, and he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 40-yard line.
Get the flag. 51. Hey, watch the ball. Squeeze. 36.
On 2nd down, McFarland. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead.
Steelers 63, Ravens 10.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. McFarland, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Just like that. Check 31. 66. Check. Pull it. Tap. That's a basket.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he fields it cleanly. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Ready. 10 Lobo. 61, matchbox, lights, snap.
To throw on second down, Daniels. And the catch made by Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. On first down, Daniels.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Now the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll keep it on the ground. McFarland, and he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
The Ravens on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
We got to step it up. No. Get it all. West. It's a safety creep.
On third down, McFarland. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and get a little more space.
This is taken at the 15. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game? And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Sack City, baby.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to launch it for Washington. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. McFarland, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They'll run on first down. McFarland, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Pittsburgh, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Indianapolis next week. Down to 1-3, and they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
bags from Prada. Rolling up. I'm in the brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm ready in 10, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top of the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Know you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But in 10, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Mm-hmm.